Doesn't that taste better coming out of a Johnny 1388 mug? Oh dear. So, sorry, enough of that nonsense. It's my dinner break, and I just thought I'd do the introduction to the video on my dinner break, so we can just have a look at what I'm actually doing. So we're out on the 1050. She's behind me somewhere, over in the distance. We're doing some ploughing, and I'm in the same field. If you followed my Facebook, I'm in the same field I was subsoiling, watching the red arrows, and this is coming leeks, this ground, so it's been subsoiled. Now I'm ploughing it, and it's going to be bed form, ready to drill some leeks. So it's a very cold day. It's saying on the screen about -2 at the minute, so it is rather chilly, and I'm regretting stepping out without my jumper on. So here we are. So I'm at 12 inches deep today. So there you go. That's the furrow. That's the last furrow. That's the furrow wall there. So yeah. So this is what I've done. Just want to show you the. Let's just show you what the soil's like in this field. It's quite a sandy soil, as you can see. It's quite sandy. There is a little bit of body to it, but there's quite a bit. Let me get this piece. There's quite a bit of organic matter in this soil, which is obviously what we want for nice healthy soil. And you can see how easily that's breaking up there. That's bang on. That there's nothing wrong with that at all. Once this gets worked down, you can see there's a, look at that. Lovely bit of organic matter there. Awesome. Yeah, so once I finish ploughing this and Lee's come in with his bed former, oops, sorry, just tripped over, it'll form a lovely seed bed. So here she is. She's not the cleanest she's ever been, as you can see, but I'll soon rectify that. I've bought some premium TFR wax from Chrome Northwest. I'm really looking forward to using it. Really looking forward to using that. So it's not sticking to the bodies of the plough too much. See that skimmer there, sticking to it a bit. But it's sort of working its way off by itself. But you can see how cold it is, because as I'm turning it over, as I'm flipping the plough over, it's actually sticking to the main beam of the plough. It's actually freezing to it. That's how cold it is. Rather cold. And that's even, I mean, this is 12 o'clock now, and pressure's still got a bit of frost on it. So I've had to drop this in to 12 inches. Now on this plough, it's a little bit different to how, with the size of it, it's a little bit different to how you'd normally do just a normal reversible plough, which this is on the back. So altering the depth of this one is the same as you would on normal ploughs. But with this, we've got this where the wheels are, with a ram down here, and that ram's got this collar on it, and that collar's pinched together with two Allen screws either side, which need loosening off, and that then slides up the ram. And then this green ring that you can see there, it's got spikes on it, two prongs on it, and these little shims, half shims, have got a hole down one side, so obviously to keep lock them in place, the sort of spikes on the end of that will sit into the edges of these shims to make sure they're in place and they don't go wandering about. Now really, so to alter the depth of this, you have to sort of pull that up, pull that out, and then you take the shims out or put shims in. So by doing that, that alters the depth of sort of this section of the plough. So like your front fur of your back plough, and then maybe the first 2 or 3 furrows of the front side. So by altering that, then you've got to sort of make that correlate with the back And with the back it's the same as it is on most Vernon ploughs, and that's on these. So you undo that little locking nut there, or say little locking nut, I mean big locking nut, you slacken that off and you turn these, so you screw them in. So the further you screw them in, the longer this bit has to travel to meet this section here, which if I demonstrate now, if I lift the wheel up, oh it's heavy. So you get the idea. Hopefully you could see that. You get the idea. So the higher up that wheel is allowed to go, the deeper it puts the plough in, and they've both got to be equal on either side, which they are. And it's worked out that I've got 4 threads showing on there, and I've actually got 4 shims in the middle. But if we was ploughing at maybe 6 inches deep and went down to 12, then we'd have to alter the angle of the plough, because obviously if you've got an in-furrow plough, your tractor, oh dear, just have a look at me for a minute, the tractor will be leant over more because your furrow's deeper, so in turn that'll make your plough cockle over more, so you have to alter your headstock stops to keep the plough running parallel. So on this tractor, these are your headstock stops here, so you'd pull that up. Oh, it's all a bit frozen at the minute, so I'll leave it there. You pull that up and you wind that handle or that nut, and it raises and lowers these little bits on the side. So when the ram comes over, the ram touches that, so it adjusts how much it'll lean the plough over to keep it straight. But because I've only dropped down 2 inches, it looks pretty, you know, it looks pretty good from my perspective. And same with the front plough, it's a bit different. You have to put more shims in on these rams. These are the main turnover rams for the front plough. So to alter the angle to keep it straight, you'd have to put more shims or less shims in here to stop it from coming over as much, or to make it come over more, sort of thing. So if I was dropping down a lot in depth, I would have had to have altered them, as well as altering that middle bit and altering that back bit. And to be fair, I haven't adjusted it that many times down. Just climbing the cob. I haven't adjusted it that many times down to 12 inches, and it's when you've got 10 furrows behind you, it's not that easy trying to get them to match up. And yeah, so it took me a little while of getting out, adjusting things, getting back in, taking things out, adding things. It just, yeah, it took a little bit of time. It's not very often that I'll drop it in, you know, sort of this deep. Well, say not very often, but during the time we've had the plough, I haven't had to do it very much. We have 2 other ploughs on the farm, and they generally do the sort of brassica land sort of thing. Right, so anyway, going on too much. Let's carry on. finishing off the this bottom part of the field. Excuse the shaking my head around a lot, you'll have to forgive me for that. So I'm trying to concentrate on my lines. Slowly drop in there. So I've just dropped the front in, just slowly dropping the middle in, a little bit at a time. Now start doing the back, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Got my front fairing, it's come out a bit, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Now the back wheels on the floor, so I'll just wait a little bit and put it in a bit more, and a bit more. Now all the way, just so I know I can fill that in when I do my next pass. So if I do leave a bit of a furrow, which I will because I'm at an angle, it'll only be a shallow one. The reason I'm ploughing it off like this is because I'm not having to plough a headland like I maybe mentioned before. I've got to leave at least 6 meters all the way around the outside of the field, more so on that side because it's strong, some sort of strong land, and we're going to put a pollen nectar mix or a bird food mix in the land that we don't use for the leeks. So there's no point me ploughing a proper headland because it'll just turn to a mushy horrible mess when the guys are turning on it, you know, when we're sorting these beds out for the leeks. So coming up to that bit now where I finished, so in a second I'll lift my front fur out. Now front furrow's out, I'll stop, come to a dead stop. Lift everything out. Turn the front plough over. Right. Keep going. Turn around. We'll turn around and we'll do the next one. Let's come up for the next run then. So I'm going to start turning me front plough over, so it'll just push the wheels to one side of the plough and I'll just hang out a little bit. And I'm going to turn in, engage my auto steer, and that should get me in line so I can gently drop the front fur in. And again, like slowly put the middle in. Drop the front fur in a bit more. Every time I lower the middle, I have to drop the front fur in a little bit more because it lifts it out. Right. So middle's in. Start putting the back in, put the front fur in a bit more. A bit more. A bit more. She's all the way in. Only how many lengths left? 1 1/10. I'd say. Going to be one more from there and a tiny little one on this corner here, and that bit's done. I'm quite happy with how that's come out, to be honest. Just takes a bit of thinking about sometimes, making sure you're finishing in the right place. You're can and also you're leaving a level enough job where they won't really struggle to you know, to level it out. Middle, back we go. I'll back this little bit off in the corner because there's no point me turning around. It's only a short little stretch. I hope you're not bored. Not exactly the most action-packed section. So keep the wheels tight to that dyke bray there. I'll get myself close up to it. Let's go a bit further back. And I'll lean the plough over. Turn the wheels even more. I'll aim for that furrow. I'll just turn out of it a bit. Get myself in line. So I've squared the plough up now. So I'll drop the front furrow in again. Not too deep. Just slowly lowering that middle one in. Steady away. It's nearly all the way in. So I do, yeah, like I said, I do need to point out that this isn't how I'd plough headlands for a cereal crop, because obviously you just plough the whole field. You mark your headlands out, you plough all your headlands, and you're away like. But this is it's just a little bit different. It's just a little bit different way of doing it. I need to make sure all the field's ploughed apart from 6 metre strip around there, and it's always best if I can keep going the same direction as the bed former man. I don't really want the bed former to be crossing my ploughing. So if he can keep going the same way that I am, then he'll be happy. It's a bit easier for me, to be honest. It maybe looks like it's not too easy to do this, but it's pretty simple. It's just I'm basically just driving up to the headland, sorting the plough out, backing up, and that's it really. And there we are. She's done. Well, this part's done. I've just got that headland to plough over there, which is just the same as I did before with the double ploughing. So hopefully you can see what I was doing. I'm driving along this little headland. There's no great massive furrows. There's just a few little scratches in the sides. And yeah, that's how I'll plough a headland with gearings for bed forming for the leeks. Right, so I'm just going to start. Just going to do a bit of double ploughing, I think, on this headland, because obviously Lee's going to be coming in with the bed former. So I need to get this right. Just gonna nudge myself across a little bit. So bob, 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 about 20 seconds. Oh, my phone's ringing. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't with this plough and this light land. It's a bit hit and miss, double ploughing. I do try and do it as often as I can, but I say sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't. It's hard to predict. You can see that's where I sort of started that. Did that little bit yesterday. Now coming on to the bits that I've done today. So I've just shifted my AB line across a little bit, about 20 centimeters that way. So when I come back, I'm just when I zero my line, I'll just be slightly to one side of it to make sure my front furrow's in the right place. So I've got the front bit of the plough, the front furrow is just kissing the ground really. The whole plough's sort of at an angle like that towards the back. It's not nothing's in at full depth, and it's just slightly angled towards the back. So hopefully this will work and I can look like a master ploughman on YouTube, but I am not a master ploughman. Alright, so there we go, we are at going up the other way now. Yeah, I think we've, well, so far so good. That's handy, seeing as I'm filming it. And it's actually worked for a change. But then again, Lee'll tell me when Lee gets into bed for me, when it comes to this bit, if he's bouncing out of his seat, then I've not done a good enough job. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you how I'm finishing it off. So you can see there's just a bit of a scratch there, and then that's the field. That's the field ploughed. So I just thought I'd give you a visual look at what I was doing when I was doing my last run, to leave this bit of a headland here so you can see it. Yes, there we are. Right, so that about wraps it up for today. This is the last length I've got to do downfield, and as you can see there, it's a 6 metre headland to the side of that last furrow, and we're just scratching a little mark in the side, and fingers crossed it won't take any filling in. Looks alright. I'm never 100% happy with what I've done, never. There's a few bits that I would have liked to have been neater, but you know, if I got it right every time, then I'd be an amazing ploughman, and I'm not. So it's alright, I think it'll do, but I'm quite finicky, and there's a few little bits that I'd like to have been neater, but anyway. So thanks ever so much for watching, everybody, and I guess I'll see you on the next video. Yes.